Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Now today's is going to be a different one. I have challenged two YouTubers to a cooking challenge. Now I'm doing my challenge today to show them what they're going to be doing, and they will be doing it, I say, around October, because ratemybeer will be away and Sups is not well at the moment. So the challenge will be to do this recipe from scratch, the way I do it, with no help whatsoever. Now they will have taste testers when they have finished their dish. Michelle will be tasting ratemybeers, and hopefully Simmo's mother will be rating his dish and taste testing his dish. Now I will rate them after their videos on the looks and what the taste testers tell me. So what are they going to be making? Well, they're going to be making a simple dish, but not simple, because as I said, they don't really cook. They're beer reviewers. So ingredients you are going to need. Now everyone knows I kind of wing my way, and obviously you're not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to give you the grams that you need and the times of the cooking and temperatures, because I will be obviously cooking mine in an air fryer. You will be cooking yours in an oven, unless you have an air fryer. So for your pastry, your ingredients are going to be 185 grams of plain flour, half a teaspoon of salt. Now I use Himalayan salt, so whatever salt you have, 100 grams of butter unsalted, around 3 tablespoons of water. Now you may need more because every flour has a different water saturation, so you'll see what it's supposed to look like and you gauge how many bits of water you need, but don't just throw it in, just bit by bit until you get the right consistency. So your filling, you're going to need 4 large eggs, half a cup of milk. You can use half a cup of heavy cream if you wish to do so instead of the milk. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper, and 1 cup of shredded cheese. So I will show you what I have done so that you can make your life a little bit easier. I'll bring you down. So here I have a tray, and on this tray I have all my ingredients: the eggs, the plain flour, the salt and pepper, the cheese. You're going to need a mixing bowl, you're going to need a fork, and you're going to need measuring jugs. So I have a big one to combine my eggs, and then I have the small one for my water. So let's get started, let's get cracking, let's get cooking. Don't forget to also add your butter to that tray and your milk or heavy cream to that tray. I actually forgot, I've just done that now. So your bowl, into that you're going to put in your flour. Now as I said, the grams for you, but I'm just going to wing it like I normally do, because that's me. So there's my flour, and into that flour you're going to add your butter. Try and make sure your butter's not too hard. Now normally I do mine half and half, which is half butter and half lard. But I'm doing this vegetarian way because I know Michelle will be taste testing this and she's a vegetarian. So the next thing is you're going to get your hands messy. You're going to go in and you're going to rub that butter into your flour. So yes guys, your hands are going to get messy. And you will continue to do that until you have what will look like breadcrumbs. So you're just working in that butter to all your flour. Like so. Now I'm going to leave my camera running. I'm going to obviously talk, but I'm going to leave my camera running because I'm on my phone, which is my camera, to get all butterfied or flour. So you just keep working that in. As you can see, it's coming to look like breadcrumbs. So that's our flour now worked. Make sure depending on what butter you're using will depend on how kind of yellowy your flour will go. But just make sure it's unsalted. You can use margarine, doesn't have to be butter. So that's done. So into that I'm going to make a little bit no. Sorry, just getting my knife. Now you can start this off with the back of a knife. And I'm just going to put a small amount in and then work it in. Now as I said, it depends on the saturation of your flour. Now you might see me adding more because I've probably more pastry than you have, but it will still look the same. We'll keep mixing that with the knife. And yes guys, your hands will get messy even more. As you can see, it's starting to come together. That's what you're looking for. Now I didn't state you couldn't use a mixer, but I am saying now this is the way you're going to do it. You're going to do it old school. I mean more water. Remember, only bits at a time, don't oversaturate it. You want it to come together, but you don't want it too wet. Now we're going to get our hands in there and we're going to try and pull the rest of that flour. And you're going to do this for a few minutes. Bringing in as much of the bits and pieces that are left in the bottom, as much of it as you can. So now I have all the rest of the flour up. And then you can see, I'll give you a close up, the consistency of it. It's not too wet, it's a little bit sticky, but that's fine. Now you're going to put over some cling film over this, and you're going to chill this in your fridge for half an hour. Now while that is chilling, you can get your other ingredients ready. So while you're waiting for your pastry, I've got my jug here, and into this we're going to crack our eggs. One, two, three, 4. Then we're going to add a quarter teaspoon of salt and pepper. And half cup of milk or heavy cream, depending on which you're using. And then you're just going to mix all that together. So it's basically like a scrambled egg mixture. And then you can set that aside into your fridge. While we get on with the rest of the recipe and what to do. Now, I didn't tell you, my mistake. You'll also need a flan dish. I have a small one there, and if you've ever had a quiche, then keep the foil and you can use that. Now, the difference between, if you have a foil one, you won't have to blind bake your pastry as much, because there's already little holes at the bottom. But if you don't, which I'm going to show you this way, you're going to have to blind bake your pastry. Now, blind baking, you can do it several ways. When I put the pastry in this, which I will show you, we're going to put some parchment paper in. Now, depending on whether you have ceramic beans, which I will show you, because you're going to use that to weight down your parchment paper. Now, if you don't have ceramic beans, you can use rice. It's practically just to hold the parchment paper down so that the bottom of your pastry doesn't cook. You're just wanting to cook the outside, but you don't want to burn it. So you're going to have it nice and lightly cooked, nice and lightly brown, so that is, yeah. And then we will take the parchment paper off, and then we'll put some holes into the bottom, and then we'll pre-bake that. But all that will come as we go along. So yeah, as I said, I'm doing mine this way, which is the traditional way. But I'm just saying, if you have this, then you won't have to pre-bake it as long. But as I said, we're going the old-fashioned way, we're going old school. So if you can get hold of one of these. Now I actually bought this one from a thrift shop. I paid a couple of euro for it. So we're ready for the next stage. I've pre-floured my table, as you can see. And I've got my dough. And we're just going to work through it for a few minutes. Now I've done enough pastry for two. Because my flan dish is a small one, so it depends on the size of your flan dish. I mean, you can always roll it out, do one, and then regather it, roll it out again. So as I said, I'm just going to cut mine in two. As I said, you don't have to, just roll the whole thing out, and then you can re-roll it out afterwards. Now, I know Paul said in his life they weren't sure if they had a rolling pin or not. If you don't have a rolling pin, you can use a bottle. I've done it before. So you're now just going to roll this out, turn it over. Roll that pastry out. If you're going to use a bottle, even if you use a rolling pin, make sure you flour the thing first. And you're going to roll it out for the size of your flan dish. Now that's plenty big enough for mine, as you can see. So I'm now going to roll this onto my rolling pin very gently. Now you can pre-oil your dish with whatever you wish to, whether it be a little bit of oil or a little bit of butter, just so that it doesn't stick. So that's done, and we're just going to roll this gently over, and then we're just going to ease it in, and then we're going to press it against the flutes. press it down so that you're not pushing the pastry up. Because sometimes pastry can break if you do it from upwards. So just press the pastry down as you're doing it, and then try and feel where the flutes are if you can. Like so. And then we're going to gently cut round, just gently. You see that? Just gently. Whoops. You don't want to try not cut too close if you can. And then you put that in the fridge for a further 15 minutes, just for it to settle down. And you can always press it here just to go over the top. So I'm going to put that in the fridge. And I have pastry left over. So I'm going to see if I can get another one out of this. If not, I will mix it with the other one. Yeah, I don't think I can. So I'm just going to mix all this together. So tuck it in and mix. Let's say half again. Just a little bit more flour here. And roll out. And again, just go over and roll it. There we go again. Now I'm not going to put any butter in this one because obviously there's little vents in this one. But we're just going to gently sit it in. Remember, pressing gently down, ease that pastry in. And if you can feel the little flutes, and then once again, now you have to go gentle, more gentle with this one because obviously it's tin foil. Like so. Now don't worry, it will look different in a tin foil. I'm just going to press these flutes now. Now if you don't know what I mean, I'll show you in a second. When I say the flutes, I mean the little ridges that are around these. You're pressing it into these because you want that shape. So if you see one there, just press, there, press, there, press, there. there, there. You might be able to do it better if you hold it like this. And you're just looking for that little flute. And you're just gently pressing all along that. And then you'll see inside where those little flutes are. And I've still more pastry, so I can still do another one. But obviously it depends on the size of your dish, depends on how much you get out. As I said, yeah. So these will go into the fridge for about 15 minutes. And when they've been in the fridge for 15 minutes, I'll show you what you do next. Now while you're waiting for that, this is your chance to clean up. So anything you don't need, anything that's dirty, like your table or whatever you're doing, your work surface, and then that's out of the way. You don't have to be worrying about those things. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. So when I've done that and the next part is ready, I'll bring you back. Now I've took these out of the fridge. So we're going to put some parchment paper on there. Now these are the things I was talking about. They're ceramic beans. They're baking beans. Now, as I said, if you don't have any of these to weight this down, then you can use rice. You just want to weigh this down. So I'm going to weigh that down now. Push it into the corner. And then you're going to put this in the oven. Now, of course, whilst you were chilling your pastry, you should have preheated your oven. 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius. And you're going to bake this for 15 minutes. So I'm going to put this in the air fryer and then I'll show you what we do next. Now, as you can see, this is partially cooked and the bottom's still soft. Now you get a fork and you just fork your pastry. And then you're going to bake that for a further 7 minutes, so this cooks. So there's both of them done. The next thing you're going to do is get your scrambled egg mixture, that's what I'm going to call it. And we're just going to pour that don't overfill it. Nope. And then I'm just going to add some cheese. Now this cheese is medium red and mozzarella, so it's 2 cheeses. I'm just going to gently sprinkle some in there. You can have as little as much as you want. And you need to turn your oven down, and you're going to bake this for 45 minutes on 350 Fahrenheit or 177 Celsius. So when these are cooked, I'll bring you back. And as you can see, they're both cooked. All I did was put some more shredded cheese on top while it's still hot, and that will melt like this one did. Now I'm going to give this a taste test, but not right now because I have a surprise coming. But the YouTubers don't have to do this part. It's just I had pastry and stuff left over. So I'm going to let these cool down while I'm doing a surprise. Yeah, I'll show you that. So as an added bonus, you see I had some flour left. I already have one pastry case in, blind baking as I did with the flans, because I'm going to do a stewed apple flan. Now I had some apples left over, so I cut them up, put them into a pan with roughly a teaspoon of sugar. I didn't want to add too much sugar because I don't know if these apples are sweet or not. And I will show you now. There's the apples that have been stewed down. I'm going to put them into the casing, put some more sugar on top, and then I will cook that, and that will be your stewed apple flan. So obviously that is a bonus, but I will show you what I'm going to do. As I said, I've already got one in, just proofing, and this will be for another one. So out of the pastry I used, I got 2 quiches and I'll have 2 apple flans. So as you can see there, my base, and all I'm going to do is just fill this with the stewed apples. Like so. And then I'm just going to sprinkle on top some white sugar, and then we put that in the air fryer for about 10 minutes. So that's the 2 apple pies. I did them 2 ways. That was stewed apples, that was just plain apples that I cut up and put straight into my pastry, and I added some sugar. And here's the 2 quiches. So as I said, the challenge for simmo Sups, ratemybeer, and if any other YouTuber wants to join on this, as long as they're not cooks, then follow this recipe. I did do 2 apple flans. That is not included in the challenge, just the quiche. So now I'll give you a confession. This is the first time I've ever cooked quiche as well, so I'm going to take a slice out of it. Now there's the cross section. The pastry is nice, moist. Now I did do mine in the air fryer, so my pastry is still a little bit soft at the bottom, but I can put that in the air fryer upside down and just finish off the crust. It tastes cheesy, eggy. That is really nice. So as I said, I will give their links in my description box to their channels. And as I want to reiterate, they will be doing it in October, I think, because as I said at the beginning of the video, the reasons why. So they will be doing it. And if any other YouTuber wants to do it and then tag me, and I will link that video also in my description box, obviously after you've done it. So that's all from me today. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please give me a like, subscribe, click the notification bell for new uploads, leave a comment in the comment box, and as always, have fun no matter what you're doing. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.